Pokey CHATMAN, assistant coach of Spartak Moscow region. We're here for the EuroLeague Final Four, and I'm also the coach of the Slovakian national team.
Pokey, we spoke to you about this time last year, and it was a new experience for you being in Europe. How have you changed as a coach since you've come over?
I think just the experience of being around professional players, learning from a lot of European coaches, their styles, their system, their beliefs, and taking a few things for yourself. But also, I think the best, I guess the biggest thing I've learned is just the approach to the European game. And I've been able to sprinkle a little bit of the American game in here and there, and it's been a good combination.
Before you came to Europe, what were your expectations? Had you traveled in Europe and seen teams play and practices?
Not to the extent that I have, obviously, this year, but when I did travel to Europe, I was always with the basketball team, with USA Basketball as a player or as a coach, so it's a little bit different. You're only there for 10 to 14 days, but like you said, this is my second year, so I've really got to understand the European style of play.
I think for a neutral observer, for anybody to see you here, for example, in Salamanca, Spain, I think there are probably a lot of people who are envious of your position, but surely it can't be that easy with all of the travel and also the cold Russian winters.
I think when you're away from Russia, you're bracing yourself for -50, and then you get there, and they've had mild winters. And also, I think in terms of Russia, we're playing a EuroLeague schedule on top of the Russian League schedule, so we're not there a lot. But I can tell you one thing about the Americans. Our extent of being out in the cold is walking from our front door to our driver's door, from the driver's door to the restaurant door. But no, it is a interesting job. I think the professional level of the players and the coaches not necessarily make it easy, they make it comforting because they really go about handling their business.
So basically these rumors that we've heard about you going ice fishing with Diana Taurasi is not true?
I'll talk to you about that after the Final Four.
Okay. There's another very important element which you mentioned at the start of this interview, that you were handed the reins to Slovakia's national team, the women. And to be quite honest, Pokey, you had a remarkable summer to lead this team into the Eurobasket, which they had missed, and understand that you didn't really have all of your top guns there.
Yes, I think probably the best thing about being a new person in that environment was I wasn't privy to all the intricacies of the past in terms of players hurt, beginning, not finishing, just everything. So it was new and it was fresh. But I think the most important thing was the players didn't really buy into the fact that player A is not here, player B is not here, we're little Slovakia. They basically came to practice every day. They worked extremely hard. We became a better defensive team, so I'm extremely proud of what we accomplished this past summer.
And the opportunity now for you to go to coach in a Eurobasket must be, I don't know, have you grasped how important this is? I mean, is it important to you?
Of course it is. Of course it is. I can only live through other people's experiences. I'm hearing not to talk about it, or Oslo speaking about their experience there, Chaptai, Steve, other players and coaches. So I'm just kind of sitting back taking notes, and I'm really looking forward to it.
And there is a chance that you'll get to coach against Laszlo, possibly, right?
Yeah.
Because he's the coach of Hungary.
Yes. Just like this past summer, we played each other twice. So that was interesting, and it was fun. And now we're on the same sidelines trying to make some successful things here in Spartak.
Okay, one more question about Spartak. I think it's widely acknowledged that Spartak and Ekaterinburg have two of the most talented teams, and arguably the two best teams in Europe. And you have to play in a semifinal. You've played so many times this season. Are there any secrets?
It's not necessarily secrets. I think some of the things that we have to deal with is we play them a lot, but it's always in Russian League. So now this is European League, so maybe lineups change a little bit in combinations. You maybe have some different ideas that you can put into place. You're not restricted. But the bottom line is they have a roster full of great players. They have a great coach. We have great players. We have an exceptional coach. And I really think the game is going to boil down to those little things that people don't think about. Of course, D's going to hit a three, Beaver's going to hit a three, Cappy's going to, the post players are going to be exceptional. But I think the team that can execute, slow down, and really play the game, shoot some free throws, execute inbound underneath the side out, is going to be the most successful team.
Okay, Pokey, say something to all your family and friends back in America.
I love you guys. I miss you. See you soon.
Okay, thanks a lot, Pokey.
Okay, take care, man.
All right.